Hello, good evening, and good afternoon to everybody. This is another event, live show, mid-event. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the event and how it's going. And we do a couple of bases. We're going to show a 60, 65, and an 80. And for today in a panel, I introduce you Anton, and we got Doba Phoenix. We got Champ and Makaya and Dr. Phil. And
The immortal Dr. Phil.
I'm sorry.
And crazy eyed Daba Phoenix.
All right. I'm sorry. Crazy wild-eyed Dobba Phoenix. And we got me, Dutch. So to start off, I want to give the word to Dr. Phil.
Right. Obviously, if you're on City's page, you already know what's going on. But City lost his grandfather last night, so I would appreciate it very much so if you didn't bother him, to be perfectly honest. And until he feels like he can get back to doing what he does when he does it on his own time. Loss is not easy for any of us to deal with. We've all gone through it at some point or another, and it's not easy to go through. So, from me personally, I want to give City my condolences, best wishes to him and the rest of his family in this more difficult time. And I just want people to understand that it's not easy for anything to go through, and just give him some space until he's ready. And that'll be it.
All right. All right. So, let's talk about the event. Anton, what are your thoughts about the event, and how does the event go for you as far as it goes for now? I muted you, so in case you didn't notice that.
Is that me now?
Yep.
Right. The event sort of like it's split into two for me there, up to like level 65 to the restart. The event is very, very, very good, and I would say excellent work. But after that, there it gets really, really tricky. So it does there. So I would give it like 8 out of 10 up to 65, and maybe 6.5, 7 out of 10 for the rest. It is quite tricky. Like I went through it twice. I don't think I'll go through it again because I'm just getting too much damage on the 80. I just haven't worked a proper way to do it yet for me. But it's not too bad overall.
Okay. Doba, what are your thoughts about the event and how it goes so far?
So the last two events, in my opinion, had way too many waves. This one, I like it because it's only got 20 waves. And for those 20 waves, you get 900 KXP. Like Anton said, 5 to 65 is pretty decent, pretty fair. After 65, I had, and even including 65, I had to do a lot of end attacks and just like hitting one unit or turret, ending attack and stuff like that. And there's a lot of micromanaging. It was doable. And then the 80 was very brutal. I only got, the best I can do is like a 5-hour repair time on that one, but that's the one I get the most damage on there. As far as the restart token, I see a lot of people complaining about the 80. You're able to do the up to 65 and the first 3 faction waves without having to touch the 80. If you want the trophy, get the trophy, but then just keep restarting. I think you get like you get a lot of XP, and if you go all the way through the
I can tell you bang on straight off the bat. to do all the way up to mission 12, which is the faction mission 3 unlock, and faction missions 1 through 3, you only get 478,000 XP. Because the rest of the XP is jammed in that last mission.
Yep,
A third of the XP is jammed into faction mission 4. A third.
Yep, that was the next thing I was gonna get at, because that 1/3 should be spread amongst the other, like maybe faction 1, 2, and 3, or even the attack, like the 70 and the 75. And maybe put the last one as 100K and not 300K, because that's like a third, and that's a huge chunk of the XP. And
So 32,000 mission for the.
But I mean, you can complete a lot. You can go up to faction 3 a lot quicker and a lot less repairs than sitting there doing the 80.
At 3/4 of the way through, I have a little over half of the event XP in one run, because I've only done one run. I don't intend to do any more because the event is shite. But continue. Sorry, I apologize.
Personally, and then the lower levels and medium levels, especially the lower levels, I don't think this is an event for them. The mediums, if they got technicals, they could get a little far, or even like purifiers or vindicators. So for higher levels, I'd say at least an 8.5, 9. But lower levels, like a 4, because the tanks have a lot of health, and the archers, not the archers, the nightmares, they got a lot of range. I mean, you can bait them and all that, but if you get hit by them, they hurt on lower level units. And a lot of people aren't familiar, like a lot of the new players aren't familiar with like dodging stuff like that, or using like a bait unit, like a liberator. So, yeah.
All right. Champ, give me your thoughts.
I got a little bit of a late start on this one. It's pretty tough. I'm on my second run through, and I'm gonna give it a 6 for now. It is pretty tough. The thing I've been trying to do is use It's Electric, because it does help a little bit on some of these bases, especially on those late bases that Daba mentioned, the 65s and ups. The 80's pretty tough. Took a lot of damage on that one, but I'm just trying to find videos out there and see if that'll help. And the payout, so. Trying to get the prizes. Yeah, that's my thoughts. I mean, all these bases kind of simulate the Thorium bases, right? So I don't have, at least I don't have any zombies, I guess. So yeah, 6 out of 10, I guess. Whatever.
All right. Makaya, what are your thoughts about the event?
Yeah, it's definitely. I think I actually kind of like Anton, where it's like not to steal his thunder, but it's like where he split it off at the 65, because that's the research point there, and you can also get a Draken at that point. So that's kind of what I noticed that, and it's like that's 500K. For about that, it was like 478 or whatever with the 10% boost. It's almost kind of where I'm getting. Which is it's not great, because you need like someone was saying you need 6 million, but part of the thing for me with the drone tech too is like I'm thinking about, like, if I don't get all the XP I need, I'm like thinking about, okay, I just want I want my yellow jacket or my hornets to do the most damage to the herald, so that I'll focus on that tech, as they're kind of make their job better doing there. So it's like, I can kind of cut corners at some point there. And then it's like, but the second half, I'm like, well, I realize I realize you have to complete it once to get the trophy, which is, it's like, meh. But to me, it's like, if that's what I really wanted to, I should be able to do that. But it's like my kind of philosophy is just skip the second half and take the XP. But there was a talk about hey, if you finish the entire event, you can get like really good XP per mission, which is true, but you don't really count XP per mission. It's per how much you can repair. Like if you take massive repair damage, then your XP it's like your XP per hour. It's horrible. That's right now it's like my XP per hour is like I could do the event in 3 or 4 hours, get a restart, repeat that as many. It's a little grindy, but with my repair time is actually much lower, and then I can continue to play. But yeah, it's like before I'd actually just do a full run through, repair overnight, and just do that as many times as I could. So I think the event started kind of a little rough for me, and then I think now that it's smoothed out a little bit now that I've sort of picked up a few tricks and went through. So I think it's kind of
pardon me.
But I definitely feel like someone in YouTube said it was just really perfect. It's like for me, it's like I'm a pretty mid to high level person with 15 plus token units, and it's like for that low to mid tune, I'm not sure if that's. I can understand the pain that people are suffering, because it's like it's pretty brutal, to kind of have that, it's like if you can't get past that faction 3, your entire event's cut short. So yeah, it's like a middling kind of, for me it's pretty good, but it's kind of a little grindy still, where it's like I'm kind of that.
Okay.
Yeah, so. Thank you.
That's good. Dr. Phil, fire away.
Well, event blows. Right, plain and fucking simple. The idea of using quote unquote skill to get shit done is an entire fallacy for a start off. You can get halfway through the event fairly easily, but there's no little bit harder. It's easy, smack in the face. And that's outright fucking wrong, to be perfectly honest. And an event of any kind, like they've done in the past, should steadily increase in difficulty and not be that way. I mean, if I took one look at the 80 and said, go fuck yourself, because I ain't doing it. The test of skill is false. It's all about either what can you throw at it, how much money can you spend, and how much gold at the end of the day. I mean, that 80, for whatever reason, is absolutely ridiculous. And Kickstarter have gone and done exactly what they said they wouldn't do, which is put support turrets on every fucking platform. The Overwatches at the front of the base have the bloody the fusion and the absorption turrets on them. So do the railguns. So good luck. I'm not taking a hammering from that. It's fucking stupid. It genuinely, ridiculously stupid. And the event gets a -1 because it's that bad.
And can I also add there, please? The level 80, if anybody can do that there, fair play to you there, but we're given survivor units, and we can only use hammers and your detonators and your liberators. But the only air that we can use is a bone saw, and it's a cave, so we're restricted straight away.
So you've got no air either.
You have no air. Yes, ban us from using missiles or put 14 missile jammers in there. That's okay, but let us use all our tools for that base.
Yeah, I mean,
the front railguns would have been so much easier to take out with a bone saw or even the Overwatches.
It might have been more difficult, but at least let us use all in the faction. You should be able to use anything in that faction.
I want Phil to finish his thing, but William gives you 2 thumbs up, Dr. Phil. So,
well, Kickside gave me 47 thumbs up, right up the ass.
You didn't appreciate that, huh?
No, I did not. If I'm going to get fucked, at least take me out for dinner first.
Kicks, I sent you 47 gold.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
That's an entirely different thing, and I still got to check on my ticket for that, actually, which I haven't done. They've gone absolutely batshit. The last event wasn't too bad. The zombies were comparable to deal with. No, not at all. Not at all. For the amount of XP that you want, for a lot of this shot, even just the new drone tech is 4 million XP. I ain't doing this fucking 8 goddamn times to get shitty XP because I can't do the 80. I'm not going through that ridiculousness at all to unlock the trophy that I should be able to buy anyway. I mean, I said it the other day, and it's been said a few times since then. If you're going to put out a trophy, either unlock it and give you the trophy when you finished that particular thing, buy it outrightly for XP. If they can get the XP, they can have the trophy. It's fucking ridiculous.
It's like going to a hotel there, and only the people who are in first class are allowed a certain meal.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just not. That's not.
Well, Kickside gets the steak, and right now I'm eating the fucking gruel at the end of the day. Because that's honestly what it feels like right now. I hate faction stuff. I've always hated the faction stuff because it takes away from everything else I can use. Herald, Titan, Bonesaws, Sandstorm, the Blackout. The Blackout would have been great for half of the fucking waves I was looking at doing. But no, it's a survivor track, and you can only use this, and this. The survivors have probably the worst air of all, and they've only got one. The Corpus has the Blackout. The Sentinels have the Herald.
The Valiant.
Where's Herald, Valiant? Corpus have fucking the Blackout, Apollos, and Furies.
Yeah. And then they make it a cave base. Most of the stuff is cave. You know what I mean? It's just, you know.
So they shove it in a cave base. That means no missiles and no air.
That's one thing I agree with. There's too many cave bases on this one. It's like half of the tough bases, or I think most of the tough bases are all caves except for a couple.
The 80 is a cave. The 75 is a cave. The 50 is a cave.
25 is a cave.
25 is a cave.
It's not just with this event. That's been a Kicksite trend. The last few events have been massive caves. You know, it's a significant change from a few events ago where it's just a couple caves. Now it's like we get 6 or 8 caves.
Stop.
Like every other base is a cave.
I don't want to see cave bases. I fucking hate them. I would rather deal with the air-only bases than deal with the cave base. It's absolutely fucking drives me insane.
That 50 should have been an air-only base. You know what I mean? There was an opportunity to do that. You know, have one less.
There was, and they didn't do it. Because they've shrunk it down, so they want to make everything as expensive as possible. Have you seen the price on the new unit just to build the damn thing? It's 33 million thorium.
What's that, right?
I could build 1.5 phalanxes for that.
Yeah, the thing is, what I think, I mean, it's leading too much towards the high level players that already got everything, you know, and the mid levels and the lower levels, they can do shit because they get stabbed. They getting stabbed in this event.
At 1.2 million, I think I hit 1,500. So that means there's only 1,500 people out of 55,000 or whatever the total number of players in the entire thing is. So that's pretty. That's like 3% of the entire player base is, you know, actually got some decent XP.
I mean, I'm used to seeing people right at the top of the board because people will just go. The leaderboard's nothing more than a dick measuring contest, and that's why I don't care if it gets fixed or not.
Yeah, I always just look for Ryu, whatever. Just not sure why, but just saw him, so he's always up there. You know, tons of people are. You know, Scooby
Exactly.
But I think it's cool for them, and I'm not saying that like I know those people have insane toys. It's like I know, Fear on is on the panel a lot. He has really good toys. He can go through blaze through the event, and it's I still struggle. I'm not sure what his struggles are, but it's like
even he struggled to play the event.
Yeah, but
So since Dob and Ant are not paying attention to the side chat, I'm going to ask here: are you guys getting ready to do your base?
Yeah, I think Double was the first to go. I think, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, if he's ready.
Sure. Why not? Wait,
Double right under the bus. Love it.
give me like 30 seconds to set up my other laptop so I can watch YouTube, and then I will.
I'll take care of it.
So yeah, well, what do you guys think about the price list?
It sucks.
Yeah, it stinks. I did get the War Rig Tech. That's one thing I was looking forward to. But I'm not sure if they fix this problem, but I think they nerfed the Hornets, which kind of pisses me off. If they nerf those Hornets, I really hope they fix them.
yeah, I was saying that before. I'm calling that a bug. That it's like it's kind of been a noticeable difference from using your Hornets before to kill the Herald and then afterwards, and it just seems to be doing a lot less damage. And that's so it's I classify that as a bug. So hopefully it's just over. It's not even the tech. It's just the amount of damage they're doing against the Herald seems to be massively nerfed.
Yeah. Well, they have to do something about it because it's kind of stupid. You give a prize in the event away and then nerf the unit. I mean, it's like making people earn and spend their earns for nothing.
Yeah.
So,
And I kind of want to clarify, it's not a bug, an official known bug. It's we need to gather some more information and try to figure out what's going on, what's happening. Because there's some other tech issue bugs that apparently you bought the tech and it was the wrong tech, and they seem to working through and fixing that. So it's so anyway. Sorry.
And also what I've been hearing, I actually also agree with it. The Warwick tech. So you got 4 slots in the Warwick, but you can only put out 3. So you take something in an event you buy, you give out XP for it, but you have to give something up in order to use it.
Yeah, that War Rig. I was surprised because I got the tech and I have to take out another tech to put that slot in.
Mm-hmm.
It's Omega War Rig. I should be able to have all that tech in my.
The only reason there's the extra tech is because of the mounted flamethrower from Nightmare.
Yeah. I was thinking the fire tech was a special case there.
Yeah, it is. I think you're right.
I sort of agree with you on why can't we just throw it all on there? But it's like I'm just I agree with the sentiment.
Okay, Dob, you up? You ready to go?
I got you. You good?
Just maybe to fill the dead space. One thing about the. You ready, Dob?
I'm good.
All right.
When you're ready, throw it up.
I was saying, Makai, go ahead because I'm gonna finish what you're saying. Then
we're just talking about the prize list. And for me, it's like, it's nice that they're, before I'd run into a very few tumble where I was like, trouble. I was like, I was running out of stuff to buy, and so I'm not having that problem anymore. But now it's kind of like, but that was before the tokens, and now it's like, that's to me, it's like the big difference is I'm not going to be able to get 55 Draken tokens and get all my drone tech. Although the drone tech isn't last chance, but it's like, to me, it's like I put off buying the yellow jacket, I want to say. So it's like I'm already behind 1.2 million, and if I don't get the tech, then it's like I'm behind, 3 million. And then if I don't get, in the next month or a couple months, they throw out more tech, I'm going to get further and further behind on XP I need to buy, and it's going to start get to ridiculous levels. So, but partly with the drones, the not the tokens, where it's like you need 55 to max out a unit, and that's just brutal.
Well, for me, I
Cool.
didn't buy
That's
the
insane.
Hornets yet. I only got the Yellow Jackets. But if that issue is not going to be fixed, then why bother to get the Hornets? You know, that's why I'm not sure if I should buy that.
I'd get them because they'll probably be a fixed issue shortly. If there hasn't already been
I
one.
think they will. I think they will.
All right.
On their own, they'll knock on a Mega Juggernaut, not Juggernaut, but a Mega Herald out of the sky.
Plus, they'll be really, almost required for the invasions, and if you want to continue to keep up.
Yeah.
All right, I hope I got bone cells in here.
Hello. Seems we got Venom joined up in the panel.
Yes, better late than never.
Greetings.
So can I?
Well, you're still
All right,
alive.
so you guys ready?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna
So this
commentate.
is the VK65. It looks like.
I did this
Sorry.
with one technical. It took me an hour and some minutes. I almost lost the base. So I'm not gonna do this with one technical. I'm gonna do it with a bunch of them. But yeah, just this way we're not sitting here forever on YouTube.
Cool.
So, so you that
Yeah, it was
thorium
very
bombs,
painful.
or I don't
Yeah,
know
the
if you're
thorium
gonna narrate.
bomb. That's your first thing. You can take it out with a bone saw. I found out last night that you can take it out just with a technical.
Yeah, that's
see
like
that?
1,000 HP.
That
I think,
helicopter, you're better off using one technical to take that out because it will splash if they're not high enough level. Like, see right there, my back one's probably just got hit.
I was talking about this pre-show, but what you have level 15 or 16 technicals?
I have level 16 technicals. They are equipped with nothing, so they have the standard gun. But the thing with these technicals is they have max range starting out the gate. So, and as far as the damage, yeah, mine will do more damage. But if I'm able to replicate my video, I will not take much damage at all.
So you're still taking the same amount of.
One of the points he tries to make, it's not an overwhelming difference between a level 1 and a level 16 technical. I mean, the range is already there from start. So everybody should be able to use it.
I love this base because if you have technicals, it's just straight skill. It's just tedious in time, but you could just use skill and patience to knock it out.
Even though this is not a faction base,
It is. This is a faction. If this wasn't a faction wave, I would be doing it a lot different.
Oh, this is the 60 then. Sorry.
Yeah,
Is it?
faction 60.
Yeah, faction 60. Some idiot called it a 65. So that was kind of really nice. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna go for these floaters, but that firebomb will probably take me, so I'm gonna take that defense lab out. I would take out with a bone saw, but you got these two tempests that are really annoying.
Probably. Oh, go ahead.
The rocket silos have the Achilles GS, so you don't have to worry about those. And killing the defense lab like that reduces the defensive bonus for the enemies. Now, those little militia dudes, you can just outrange them. Because they won't hit you.
And you can outrange them with a level 1 because they have the same range as level 1 too.
Yeah, here's the thing. As soon as this bunker pops, end attack. Now, you could sit there and fight them off, but who's got the time for that?
I think if Max is talking about the max libs in this base, one of the problems I always have is they're really awesome, but you get hit with an Overwatch or some kind of AoE, you take a lot of extra damage. Another alternative I like to use is hammers. Even like Roland kind of is my I call him my junkie, my sort of survivor Ardra. So Roland is actually the hammer hero. He can actually take a lot of damage. And hammers in general take a lot of damage.
All right, so now you can also reposition. You don't have to bulldoze from one end. Because right now I'm going to take these floaters out.
It's really nice for these where you can actually just where you attack from matters. That's It's one of those nice strategic elements that they take away sometimes when they force you to attack from a certain point.
I
Yeah, I
kind of
hate
like
the
that thorium
bases.
bombs.
I hate the bases that you have to attack from a certain angle because I mean, you'll see me as I do this base. I attack from multiple angles. Oh, I never actually did go over why my technicals are damaged. So, right before this, like this live stream, I decided to do a VK80. So the damage you see here is the damage I took on a VK80. The actual, yeah. So you don't turn like that. I made a mistake there. Just let them sit and do their thing. But yeah, took all that damage on a VK80, but that was a lot of splash damage. All right.
That's
Awesome. I have technicals.
and the key here is trying to learn what your technicals do, how they operate, what their attack motives are, versus the phalanx will you'll send something to attack and they'll start rushing forward, versus the technicals will attack something at their max range and just sit there. So, and then technicals also move and shoot. He's not using that as much. Well, right there where he's running away, they're still shooting at him. So that's the move and shoot ability, which is pretty. They're kind of like the upgraded howlers.
I noticed I had that firebomb over there that I was worried about. I mean, he's not going to do much damage, but I'm going to attack from this way. So this way I can take this out. Yipes, I should have outranged that. I got a little too close. So now I'm going to send one technical.
You bring up two very good points. Like you said earlier about having to attack. You like I like to attack from multiple angles. Having a single deployed point is kind of always been annoying to me. I wish we still had the ability to move our platoons around the base and deploy from different angles. Obviously not caves and certain things where it's backed up against a wall, but other things, having it attack from a little bit more north or a little bit more southwest was always a little bit easier. It took a lot less time than having to run your unit down and around and then come in from the angle. But it is what it is. And like you said, that with the technicals, something that you should keep in mind is based on what tech you have. If you have the air-only tech, the Rocket Man, you definitely have a different style. You're going to have to learn to play with as far as the angles of attack and the ranges. It's still the same max range, but it looks and appears a little bit different, so it can kind of trick your eyes.
It is nice to be able to play a little bit with the angles. That's right, but if you got bases, sometimes people depending on the angle where the air coming from.
Yes.
See, I could have went up here, but I wanted to come at this angle, so this way there's no possible way I could get that napalm. And my wild eye saw that little dude running down there, so get him out. All right, so now we got a tank and the cryo. If you have the cryo tires, this will help, but I just want to show it untacked technicals. And so I'm just going to eat this cryo, but I'm going to target that tank now. And just play cat and mouse with him. So you just move him up a little bit. My goal is to get him out of here. Now, if he turns around, that's very good. Now you use kick size terrain against them. See, look at that.
So that's the trick with the war horses. Even Kixeye acknowledges this, that they have to shoot you from the front, so attack them from the side, and then too, if you run around and the war horse turns around, their turning speed is so slow that you can get in shots while it turns around. So that's use what that's a good tactic.
And basically everything I'm doing with all these technicals, this is how I did it with the one technical. Obviously, it's way longer and much more painful with one technical.
Well, that's sort of the it's fun to go through and speed and blitz the bases, but you take a lot of extra damage too. So if you want to take less damage, try to slow down.
Now I'm gonna do this part differently than my video. So this is all ground turrets. So I'm gonna bring a bone saw around because that's the smart thing to do, and not bring a technical for it. I'm gonna test for science to see if I can get that fire napalm gun up at the top. My bone cells are 10 plus. I'd say maybe 12, 13, but what I use my bone cell for, you could do it with lower level ones. I don't know if the bone cells got max range at the start, but they might. I'll see. I'm going to be mindful of that Tempest because he will hurt. Now, something else we're testing for the community, because I've never done this before, is how much this bunker will actually do to a bone cell. Because he's going to get hit by that bunker, I think. Okay, that was a bad idea. I need more bone cells. Fail. So I got fire. The ones with the star are fire, and then the ones with the little snowflake looking thing is ice. We're a combination of fire and ice.
Ever so nice.
All right, so let's see if we can.
Here comes
What's
the
life
cover.
without risks? So there must be an archer or something in this bunker because I'm getting AOE damage from. There's an archer right there. Okay, that explains it.
One nick from that Tempest would take out that entire group. So.
Exactly. Now, if you take one technical and send it directly at this, you'll get like free repair. But then if you're trying to do the space free repair, then you'll have to go micro heal. There we go. That angle's a lot better. All right, cool. And get rid of those. Oh wait, I'm just gonna reposition.
Is the tower fireproof?
Yeah, there was no splash fire on it.
Okay. The fire is really good for the fire tech that you got from the Nightmare event. The like October for your bone cells. That doesn't do AOE, but the fire tech I had on does. Like the stock, well, not the stock, but the fire tech you can earn. So now I'm gonna wait for this Tempest to just get him out of the way because he's annoying me. Patience.
Anton, you getting set and ready for your base?
Yeah.
All right.
I better go and find one. That's 65 I'm going for, isn't it?
65.
Oh, let's smoke that.
65.
The go-go bar and then hit that. Now their stuff isn't going to do as much damage as it because the go-go bar's down. So now we have the rocket cell is not going to do any damage. So I'm going to hit this little bomb and it'll blow all that middle stuff up. Now, since you have an Overwatch attached to this whole pack, I'd recommend just sending one technical. It's easier to dodge an Overwatch with one technical than 15, 16 that I have. But first, I'm going to go take this cryo out because he's going to slow me down. Oh, yes. I found out in my video there's two dudes hiding behind here. They're like right here. So you got to check. There's two of these little militia guys that have the machine guns or the rifles.
Can you hit the B key and bring up their health bars and see them?
And I didn't try that. But yeah, you might be able to. But they were like right here, like their feet. So I don't know if you'd be able to see them. Oh.
Yeah, Dub is standing in the ion beam or whatever they call that thing. It's
yep.
Definitely. Trick with that is like it shows you the target, and if you like right there the red targeting, if you can get out of that before it fires, you don't take any damage from it. So.
All right, so now we're gonna go for the boom. Double ones, big boom, big boom. You know what show that's from? That'll be my new best friend. It's not Daba though. It's a show host.
I'll be back in two. Just going to get a coffee before this.
Oh, you're bringing everybody coffee on YouTube. Thanks, Anton.
Now I'm going to take this Tempest out, so this way I can use bone saws for all this stuff.
Oh dear.
Maybe I will take the Tempest out. Let's see how far over he goes. Because if he doesn't go far over, then I'll take these floaters out, take that stuff out, and then I'll come in with my bone saws. But I
Kind of a
don't
funny
know.
story, but I never knew what a Tempest was or anything, and that because but it's actually the quad gun thing that's really slowly moving back and forth. It's a massive AOE damage. I'm sure most people are already know that, but it's always like one of those things like, what's an Overwatch? What's various names of things.
Oh, I should have just ran back and let that thing hit me. All right.
It's
So
just
I'm going to
reflex.
reposition down here.
Reflex, ending attack.
Yeah, if the base isn't single attack, that's the number one strategy is end attack.
That's your best friend.
What?
When things go south. And attack.
From 5 to 65, I can do most. Well, 5 to 50, I can do them with like one attack, most of them. But after that, you definitely got to use slow methodical attacking like this if you don't want to take a lot of damage. And you got to use a little bit of tactics.
Darnell thinks the event is applying busted status to him.
How I randomly zoomed out. That sucked. Okay, so you don't want to come up that side because you have the rocket bomb, firebomb artillery thingy. Take that out. And wait. Oh, I thought he was going to come at me. Okay. Then I'm going to try to reach this guy. Cool. Now my bone saws will be free to fly. Ooh, just missed. Now this base, the air is relative to your base. So my base is down here. So my air is going to come at the bottom right.
Debo apparently wants to be your best friend. He thinks the big boom comes from the fifth element.
I've never seen Fifth Element, so I don't know.
Get out.
I think the official quote is big bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom.
No, I've seen it was the host name, but I'm going to replace the host name with Daba. So Daba wants big boom, big boom. It was in the earlier seasons of this particular show.
I think Chad and me agree. It's the big bada boom.
So this base took me the whole time except for maybe 4 minutes, if that, maybe 3 minutes. Just doing it with one technical. But now, as you can see, it's much faster. It's probably only a few minutes for this one. Okay. So just for time's sake, I'm going to spread these out and go take that bunker out. But you could come in with technicals and come from the top. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Are you creating the real War Commander line?
Huh?
Oh, it's people like take their units and line them up in a big, huge long line, to spread them out and then send them in.
I hate that it keeps zooming me out like this. All right,
It must be a new feature. I've noticed that. I thought because I changed various things, but yeah, it seems like it starts you out.
Because I have semi-good vision, but I don't like my units to be real small. I like to focus, like I'm focusing on this area right now.
Yeah, but in the same vein, you want a full view of the ground that you're attacking to see anything that might be out of screen. Because when you're zoomed in, there's a lot of things off screen that you don't see that end up killing you. So I always appreciated starting out at a full screen view. I mean, it's nothing to hit the zoom button. Z key.
That's why I always study bases. Now, I will agree, doing defense waves zoomed out, I like it much better. than zoomed in. But
Well, I thought that the priority they had set was if you started, like if you had played a base and it was zoomed in, when you go to play the next base, it should start zoomed in. If you go and start zoomed out and you go to play the next one, it should automatically start zoomed out. Sort of like, the last tab you were in, I thought that was what their setup was going to be. But
that's how it used
either
to be.
way,
But like
personally,
more recently, it seems to be like just
yeah.
like
Well,
if I click the
way
zoom,
back.
then it'll start all my bases zoomed out, even if I refresh. And boom. Now we're gonna clean up with technicals, and then the base is done.
Oh man. Oh my.
So since I don't actually need this base, I'm gonna give it to somebody in the sector if they need it.
The word
But-
is sent. Sent. Gaba. Sent. SENT.
Hold on. Look at the person I was correcting. Look at the person I was correcting.
Yeah, he has a pass.
I was questioning because I didn't know that sended was a legal word.
No, he's under ESL classes. You, however, are not.
It was Doc that sent it.
He's also
He's
the
got
boss, and we don't tend to make fun of the boss because we get fired.
That also, yes, very well put.
and so that's how you
Many a
take the
time
base.
is a thing that-
So all I gotta do is
Many a
click
time
that,
have
and
I
I'll
done
take the
something
base.
wrong.
But yeah, that's how you do it.
Good work, Robert. Good work.
Excellent.
Nice job.
And I would show my repairs, but I already had a crap ton of repairs on my technicals before. But I can do that pretty much free repair. It just takes time.
All right. That's a good job. So,
Check's
Mr.
broken. Yay.
Anton Airlines, are you ready to fly?
I'm ready for takeoff.
Now
Let's
that is
see.
the 65 nightmare.
This is 65. But
Give
I'm
it
just
time
asking,
to
Okay.
switch.
is there anybody that wants me to do this a special way? I'm going to use like Jug, an Ardra, and 3 Howlers.
Apparently, Debo wants those coordinates.
Are they Shocky? Howler?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Because the Shocky Howlers are awesome against those tanks, the warhorse looking tanks. Yeah, and I don't know if the Billy Goats get shocked, but the Sidewinders definitely don't. The Billy Goats should because they're heavy tanks.
Yeah. Am I good to go here, guys, or what? Or does anybody want
Yeah.
to do
You're
it?
presenting, and YouTube is
Billy
also
goats
seeing
do
it.
get shocked.
They do.
All right, cool.
Anton, I don't know if you want to do it now, but can you tell us what type of units you're thinking about using and what levels they are?
Yeah, like I'm just going to use some Mega Juggernaut, 32, Ardor level 4, and Expert Howlers. But I'll do them any other way. Like if anybody wants them to do a different way. Like if you're struggling with this, there you could use it's electric in this space. It works very well there with phalanxes and stuff like that. There, it could help you. Again, a lot of Howlers around the outside would help. I'll just go with that there. I can do it another way for anybody else. After the first thing you always check is make sure Ruby's not on. And I know this is using missiles, but I take that triangle out because it disrupts the Ardra.
But and that's a direct attack missile. Yeah, because I tried a PK and it just was like they shot it down instantly.
Them Tempest will eat your missile alive.
In what
Tempest
way
and
does
also
it
the
disturb?
Hornets.
In what way does it disturb your Adra?
Whenever it's stationary there, whenever you it'll make it go aggressive there and not be in a place where you want it to be.
Yep. So basically, what happens? You normally you put your Adra on sitting idle or hold position, so it absorbs the damage. But when the triangle, the laser hits, it's starting to run off.
Starts to run off, and I'm getting hit here very badly there.
Let's see. Daba was kind of doing like a speed tanking where he's running around his technicals. Ardra is kind of a put a big unit out there that's going to take a lot of damage. And seeing the Juggernaut. One of the other thing too is the Juggernaut takes massive repair times. So it's like you want to not have any damage go towards it.
Don't worry about the fire effect for the Juggernaut. It's immune to that fire effect.
It wants to get some purple fingernail polish. Yeah, seeing those yellow little buggies are the expert howlers. The howlers, and so they have that same move and shoot ability, so that he's running in and out, shooting things, because Ardra can't shoot the air.
Yeah, Paul, Phalanx in the space is a no-no. It'll work, but it will hurt.
You say, yeah, I used I think you said Phalanx. Yeah, I used 12 Phalanx and took about 4 hours, but
you'll dodge the tank, the billy goats, but those tanks hurt. Those tanks that he's targeting right now, they hurt.
Yeah, William was using technical, so yeah, he's the howlers. That's why I'm saying the howlers and technicals with that move and shoot, they're pretty awesome.
And if you're using technicals in the space, I would highly recommend not using the Burning Man, because that takes forever. Use a machine gun on him.
Anton, you were supposed to take half an hour like Daba, not 5 minutes.
Oh, it's cool. It's cool.
This is a base that I myself approve of this tactic. I don't use the howlers, but I kind of do the rest. I just kind of jug Ardra this because he's got a bar on Ardra and practically nothing on the jug. So I would use a purifier because I've got more purifiers than I do Ardra. But I'm able to do the whole attack wave and in the whole attack wave I lose my Ardra. So it's pretty fair.
Yeah, you're defeated. Oh, just ran out of quick time. Hey, Anton,
there's no point to taking that away there. I'll give it to somebody else.
Debo wants it.
Oh,
does Debo want it? Does he?
I'm always or sorry, someone trying to. But Anton, are you? I know I'm always kind of stupid in this idea, but it seems like you're doing pretty good with your micro. Can you maybe share how you're doing? Like you had, Ardra's pretty. She's kind of more on the defense. Just sort of picking out targets like the warhorses and stuff. But were you just sort of double clicking on your howlers and running them around, and then clicking on your Juggernaut? Or what was your strategy to micro your units?
Yeah, that's all. I don't use the hotkeys at all. I just click on the units and that there, have them do a specific attack, hold, defend, then move the other one.
You weren't hitting the defend hotkey, or you said you were hold defend?
Just the buttons at the bottom that kicks I give you.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so it's just it's like a insane mouse speed.
I could have done that better. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
40 minutes for that there.
And you're you're not on a trackball or so. I don't know. So I've seen some people on a laptop just be that fast, and I'm like, how? But
and that's just my event base. That's I just bring all the walls and buildings and make it a square.
All right.
Yeah, because with your guns, there's no point in putting walls in front of the guns for PvE because everything shoots over them anyways.
It has been a disheartening change in the vein of the game. Walls used to be so pivotal in base defense in the early waves of the game in making pinch points and trapping your opponent into crossfire and taking them out really early. Because I used to have a base design on the old medieval base design. Fortress design, and it used to pinch no matter which direction you came in from. You were going to get attacked by at least a tower and like 2 or 3 of my turrets from each side. So you were always getting fire from 5 objects simultaneously. But now, because so many things just obliterate the walls, shoot over the walls, or you got things like they use the walls to target them. So you got Juggernaut as an easy example, or a Herald. So if you have floating turrets, the Herald wouldn't, previous to the tech, wouldn't hit the floaters, but they target the wall that the floater was next to. So you take out, So that kind of changed the way the gameplay was. And again, this goes back to the aspect of Kixeye slowly directing us to play the way they want us to play, in a minor way, as it comes to that comment. But
that's kind of takes away strategy for me if if they take away those types of strategy moments and kind of force you to a different it's like it's not really strategy at that point. It's like
it takes away one, but it opens up another. I mean, everything really does in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, we can't do the things we used to do with our wall designs of our base, but at the same aspect, it's not letting us go into other bases and just blow through some people's bases with ease, because now we have to, they've countered the same things we're countering. So it makes it a little bit more strategy based.
All I'm saying is I'm making more javelins.
yeah, jabs, max range.
All right. So I'm up for the 80. I'm going to do the 80. This is the only second time that I did the 80, so I might be losing my balls in this one.
Fingers and toes are crossed for you.
So what I'm basically going to use, I'm going to use the It's Electric up.
Don't think you're presenting.
I should be.
No, you're not. Oh, wait, where is he? Is he where?
Don't. I don't know. Someone else can confirm.
You're not screen sharing Dutch.
You're showing the icon. You're not showing your actual.
Oh, noob.
Okay, we haven't started yet.
Yeah, it's fine.
Just a suggestion: put a hammer or a Roland at the back, just to
before you
catch
start.
All those, the rolling things.
You want me to advance scout that base?
I'm already up. I started. Should be up.
All right, Dutch, you're good. Yep, you're good.
Okay, I use technicals and what else? The Roland. So
no, not to continue the topic, but what level are your technicals, and just to get a good idea. I mean, again, we can do them with level. You can do them with level 1s with the different range, but just to give a general.
My technicals are level 8.
8, yeah. See, so that's good.
What I'm using here is my my Roland. I put it back. I got flamethrowers on all of them.
We'll probably, I don't know if people are liking the comments, but we'll try to continue them.
All right, I'm mad that one nightmare did not come out for me. That one right there that you're killing. The only the first one came.
Oh yeah, but you didn't have a flamethrower tech on it, so.
I did. That whole base I did flamethrower. I only did the machine gun because for the base that I did, I had air and ground.
Yeah.
And I don't like picking out one turret. I don't like picking out one technical just to hit the thing. So I just put them all the machine gun. But for this base, I did all flamethrower. I would recommend though machine gun for this one as well. Only if you're trying to kill those tanks, because flamethrower works, but it takes a bit.
Yeah, well, the machine gun also, when you're running the spec op of It's Electric, that's going to benefit you. But I run platoons of mixed. I have at least one or two of the Rocket Man, and then I'll have the flamethrower.
All the aggressive are down, so I anti-attack.
Yes, I wanted to hit on that point. Dutch probably knew about that before, but sometimes one of the first strategies of these types of bases is their aggressive units. So, if you drop you drop some kind of weak unit in there, they could get killed pretty easily. So, thankfully, his technicals are fast, and he's quick on he was quick on the retreat button too. Dutch retreated a few units because he didn't want them to, be in that bum rush. But so that's one of the themes of this is try to use, and you can use those aggressive units, to land jug shells into various tactics as well too. So, sorry, go on.
So I'm using now the mat.
target that railgun there. There you go.
Yeah,
Get out of
but
there and attack and attack.
most important.
Don't.
Shh. Let him do his thing.
It's the Dutch way.
Yeah.
No, but the most important is to take out that silo.
And you used Max as the new hero dog, but the war dog from the survivor unit works as well. So Max is a survivor hero, single use, and
if you're doing this,
7 of them up to this point. So if Dutch uses one or a couple, I'm not trying to speak for Dutch, but he was saying that that's a pretty good investment for him.
because at the end of the day, these maxes are test units, as per Kick-Size video. So we'll eventually, seems like we'll eventually get the hero. But
yeah,
Yeah,
they in
eventually we'll
the
pick 'em up.
event video they said that they'll definitely be a hero.
And they'll eventually be a purchasable hero, not a. Well, see, this is one thing, and it's good that Dob is here. Heroes were, in my mind, singles. So you had, Ardra, you have Nyx, you have Roland. These are hero units. This Max idea seems to be that they're going the single-use ones, at least from what I gathered from the video release. In their press was that the original thing is we're given a bunch of single-use ones. We're allowed to test anything, relay information, learn how to play with them, and then eventually it'll be rolled over and to create a purchasable hero. But is the purchasable one going to be a single max dog that will?
it should be a single max.
Yeah, so it'll be a max hero dog, just like a normal, just like all the other heroes. It'll be permanent. You can repair it. But
what I mean is you're not going to unlock 7 maxes in the future. You're not going to purchase 7 max heroes. You're only going to have 1 max.
Yeah, for tournament.
Yeah.
But we are now able to use it like this, so I'm taking advantage of that.
Absolutely. Well, this is where my twisted, perverse brain goes. If we are to save these for an extended period of time, and they do release the max single hero, and he has a buff status, would he not buff these guys in a platoon? And this is only speculation, assuming that our hero unit actually has some sort of buff to dogs.
I would imagine, this is me just speculating, but I would imagine if they made a single hero, that they would wipe all the ones that we would have now.
Yes.
But that's
I was under the vein that this was going to be treated like our single-use zombies. I mean, theoretically, you could keep your zombie from now until the last day of this game's existence.
Yep.
So what?
That's how I think they would be too.
That Max, is it classed as a hero now?
Yes, it's classed as a single-use hero, but it's a hero with
the ones that we have, whatever way.
No.
Probably sounds like we should have that that type of discussion later. But I was thinking we're kind of getting off track from.
I don't mind giving up ideas, but yeah,
right.
you're right.
I definitely I think it's a great topic. I'm just thinking that we're getting away from.
I want to point something out.
Yes.
What Dutch has done just right now took me like 5 times as long because I didn't use its electric. So its electric definitely will help in this base. Especially killing them tanks.
Yeah, but I'm sure, Daba, you also didn't take quite as much damage. You probably took probably a third less damage.
I had way more damage only because of at this point I had way more damage because of the overwatches.
Okay.
My first one that I did, I had about this amount of damage, but the second one that I did the one I did 2 days ago, I had about this amount of damage. And what I did here, I just went in and would just target single buildings, and then I would end attack, and target single buildings and then attack. And you got owls on you, so you might want to attack there.
Awesome.
Or yellow jackets, whatever. But once I got the front done, I just would go in, kill one building, and attack. Because right now, you just got the avalanche, the drone silo, and that's the aggressive stuff.
Mind if I chime in real quick?
Go for it, champ.
You can ring my bell.
So I'm doing the same base right now. I sent 2 of those max dogs. They completely took out the railgun. 2 of them.
Nice.
And it took out the left side of the base.
Cool.
Almost. I only said
Except
2, not even on aggro or nothing.
So,
So
you
I
see
got
the
another.
pattern?
I'm gonna put another couple of those max dogs in a tune, and I can show you guys.
You could put two maxes in one attack. I thought
Yeah,
they were
and
like,
you put them in different squads.
oh, but you
So
can't
when one
deploy them
dies-
at the same time, though, right?
But
No,
let
you
me
can't.
build a tune here.
Sorry, trying to get away from that discussion, but
I'll wait till Dutch finishes.
I know
If it's
Dutch can make the official call, but I'm just thinking we're trying to show off the space, and I mean I think the max discussion is great, but it's like we're trying to focus on this.
Well, I'm doing the same base right now.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah,
Like I said, this is a testing phase, and they're referred to as one thing, but they're treated slightly different. There are exemptions and things that are different with these dogs, but they're flying under the same vein as our zombies. Like it was released in the press and the release was they will die if you use them for an attack and you start the attack sequence. But if they're in a platoon and they are attacked, they will be repairable.
Yeah.
So it's under the same thing as the zombies, pretty much. And they're the single use. You don't, once you've used it, once you've sent them in to attack with them, they won't return to your inventory.
I like this.
Good work, Dutch.
Now leave that floating support turret for somebody.
Yeah, Dutch, what sector are you in, and how can I trick this game to let me jump to you and take that?
Dutch has a surprise for you. He needs his base because he's trying to do the event as well.
Yeah, but
Darn him.
it doesn't give me any points because I'm not.
You're not at this level yet. You still have other bases to do first, right? Just leave it floating. You have like an hour or something. You probably have 40 minutes left. So if you leave 40 minutes, go hit the other couple of bases. Or how far down the list are you?
I don't know if anybody is up for the 80.
Yeah, I'm up to I'm not a country mile away from it. Country mile.
Dob was just saying he needed an 80.
I have to do the 75, and then I do the.
I need one in a few hours. I just restarted after I did my 80. After I did my 80 video, I restarted. So.
Yeah, so I remember that now.
Speaking of which, let me continue doing the event. Multitask.
Yeah, it's probably too late, but part of the reason why the railguns will just wipe out those technicals within seconds because they just every shot kills the technicals pretty much. So that's why they're using the dog to distract the railgun and shoot at the dog instead of the vehicle.
Yeah, whenever you can use a sacrificial lamb that is expendable, same as we always used our ERMs in the back of the day, meat shields. It's always that.
He's been moving his technicals around a lot because of that. He's not doing it so much now, but it's because of that purple fire on the ground. It doesn't do it's not going to wipe him out in seconds, but it's every time a tick of damage in there is going to cost repair time. So.
Yeah, and that has the same event status effect that the acid rain has, or
it has a status effect as well.
Well, it hurts you and it stays and lingers, so it helps to.
Oh yeah.
When you get shot by a bullet, the effect of that bullet is increased slightly because you have the effect of that purple fire.
There's little tags and. There's icons on your characters to tell you what status effects you have, but I never pay attention. It's hard for me to pay attention to that, but some of those are really important.
If I'm remembering correctly, I might be misspeaking, but if I remember when you rolled over it, it stuck with you for a small amount of time.
Debo's got a
that's
point.
How we used it. Oh, go ahead, Debo.
Debo's got in YouTube he says, if you don't want to use Max, use the War Dog and put the tech on that spawns 3 more dogs near death. It works great for him.
Yep.
If you have that alpha training tech. I think it's alpha training.
Yeah, I believe so.
But I
remember that one event. as a defense, I would just keep running their units over and over and over the fire, and it would kill them off.
That's how I do the base. It cost me 2 half toons, so yeah.
Samara and Chad say
How
good
much-
job. So excellent job.
How
I
much
can live
repair on
with
your
that.
technicals?
I will take a look.
Good work there, Dutch.
Probably maybe 4 or 5 hours, which is to me is totally acceptable for that base.
I have no clue.
You should just let that repair overnight. It's the
I would
Antoine
just
Airlines
like-
free repair.
I would like these event bases when you get to the top 2 or 3, not to give more than an hour and 15 minutes repair for, in damage.
Well,
If you want,
actually,
but at the same time, that's what I'd like. Not what's a reality.
I haven't seen an event base like that in a long time where like the top ones will give me less than an hour.
Yeah, but
That's kind of what I'm talking.
if you
Oh,
count,
Dutch beat me.
if you count it totally, it's I got 10 hours, but
that's not too bad.
Well,
I
I mean,
two
the-
technicals. Okay.
The long of it short is that past a certain base, you're going to take damage. Even the top, decent players are going to take some amount of damage to get through them.
Oh,
So
absolutely, you should take
I mean-
damage. It wouldn't be.
I was going to say, like,
strategy game.
Venom
So-
Venom was telling me about the 65, and I'm like, yeah, how am I going to do this base? And Venom's like, you take damage, and I'm like, no, that's not. I don't want to do it like that.
Even trying to use like hit and run like I did in the 60 that I showed earlier, and that 80, even I was taking damage, and I'm totally the one that says I want to be anti-damage. I want to find I want to use strategy, not bulldoze and all that. And yeah, that 80 base, I can't find a way to do it without taking serious damage. Now, obviously, it's electric will help, but
Apparently,
so,
Devo's.
so champ, you wanna show your way or?
I'll just one sec. I just want to check my electric timer.
Okay.
Got
So
6 minutes. That should be good enough. Well,
Venom, you missed the opening of the show. I just want to know what your thoughts about the event are, and
All right, I will be respectful, and I will keep it strictly to the event and not the overall issues and everything that's going on with the company and the game, in my opinion. So, as far as the event goes, I like it. I really do. I don't care about those that are crying and whining and whatever. I'm not really paying attention. I'll be honest. I haven't read into the forum posts.
I would suggest you don't.
Well, I'm sure there's a bunch of crying about things, but it's okay. There are aspects that are like, wow, you kind of are sticking to players in this base design. That's tricky, and we're showing and exposing that even in the 3 that we're doing here today, or 4 bases that we're doing today. I hope you're screen sharing, Champ, while we're talking, because I don't want him to lose
I
his
am.
timer. Okay, good.
wait. I gotta put them on.
Yeah.
Presenting.
Please, yeah, because I just looked up and saw my face, my ugly. There we
Is
go.
it
That's
champ?
better.
Yeah, champ your
I
show.
don't want him to waste his timer on this while he can, show the community. But as far as the event goes, I think it's well planned out structurally. The bases some are skill set and tricky, some are just an expose in what the units can do, and are sort of training bases where it shows you a little bit about ranges and things. If you look at it, from that aspect and that view. I still agree. I don't like the way they did the reset token drop from 4 to 2, and the placement of that. I don't like it, but it is what it is. So overall, did you do like a 1 to 10 rating, or just asking for viewpoints?
Just your opinion. How is your
Yeah, I think-
event going so far, and what do you think
Well,
of it?
Full disclosure, on Thursday I went out and I bought PlayStation 4 and I was playing that. So as far as seat time, sitting back and playing the event, I haven't put much in, just a few hours, but I'm sitting at just under 600,000 XP. I haven't done a full run through yet. I just have the last 75 base and the 80 to do, and I'll be done that. Most of my seat time's been actually today. And then I'll probably sit down tomorrow when my wife goes back to work and I can be alone and relaxed and not have somebody in my ear telling me to do shit. And I can actually focus on it. And I'll probably do maybe another 1 or 2 run throughs. But I'm personally not looking to get a whole bunch of XP. There's not much in the prize list for me. I'm not worried about yellow jackets. I don't have any, and I didn't build any, and I'm not planning to build any. My primary focus is honestly going to be the Hornet tech, because I use those in my drones, and I think that'll be beneficial. And collecting the units that we get for free, going through the run through. I'm not a token person. I don't really care. I was thinking about the Deathblade. I was thinking about that because I do actually use, regardless of Dr. Phil's, dismissal of the piece of crap that is our war rig. I actually do use it, and I've used it. I used it yesterday a little bit in the event. So, who knows? Maybe I'll pick that up. Maybe that'll be the big one. I'm probably, if I'm lucky enough to actually not hit reset and I go through the event and I collect the unlock for the trophy, I'm still not going to get the trophy out of principle because, and I hope Kixeye is watching, fuck you making us go through a thing to unlock the ability to purchase something. Fuck you. Either give us the XP value or make that the end of the thing where once you've completed the event, it automatically unlocks it and gives it to you. And then if you want to do a secondary trophy, like you get the silver version for completing the event and it unlocks free. And then if you want to purchase for the 800,000 the gold version, fine. Change the animation. You have the glowing one you get for just completing the event, and you have one where like an old-fashioned, it's got train tracks in the front, so you can have a small old-fashioned miner's cart roll out with thorium and then roll back. So it would glow, the miner's cart would come out, you'd see the little thorium inside the mining cart, and then it would roll back into the cave. That would have been fine. You'd have 2 trophies to go for. 1, you hunker down, you complete the event, you get it. 2, you hunker down, you complete the event again to get enough XP to purchase it, and you purchase it.
Okay. So I do, like Kixeye said, that they're doing it to make it like more valuable. So I definitely agree with giving it to us, not doing the unlock thing. Because if you want to make it valuable, beating that 80 base, that's definitely worthy of a trophy if you're able to beat it. So it should just be something.
That's what I'm saying. But you're not giving us the trophy for beating it. You're giving us the ability to get the trophy. Ooh.
But this
is ouch.
Those yellow jackets, man, they are mean.
This is the first time that Kixeye's done stuff like this. They might fix it for next event, make it different.
Is this for Science, Champ?
Yeah, this is for Science, and
this is the golden rule of I've done it 50 times and taken half-hour damage, but I do it live in front of an audience and take 50 hours of damage.
Well, see, we showed two good ways of how to do how to do a 60 and an 80. So now this is how not to do it.
Exactly. The dog thing was good though.
Yes, the dog was good.
Yeah, to be fair, the start of the base looked pretty awesome.
And again, the problem with the war rig is once you stop it, if you get caught up in a corner and you slow down, it takes forever for it to get back up to its pseudo landing speed where it becomes valuable again.
I was going to say, you don't have to be fully committed that you can't just in attack, but then partly if you're halfway, if you take damage on the way in again, then you might.
Don't have the Warwick attack for that, for the turning speed?
I do. I have the turning speed, the new one,
and yours is Omega, right?
Say again?
Your Warwick is an Omega one, right?
Yeah, it's Omega. It's a level 34 going to 35.
Champ, can you test something for me while you're doing that before you kill that CC or whatever? Do you have the level 10 cal or level 6 cow catcher on it?
That's the turning speed?
No, the new tech.
That's the death edge.
Run over those buildings. Just run them over.
What do you want? Oh, you wanted to see about the busted status effect?
See if they are spawning last stand defenders, because I've seen reports. Okay. I seen reports, and I've actually seen a video where when you ran over the building, last stand defenders still spawn. So I don't know if it's just a war rig.
That's I think that's only
Okay.
comes at
That's good.
the max level of that tech, so that could be one thing to look out for.
Well, the player
I'm
in the
not sure if
forums,
that's 100%, but
Needed that.
the player in the
base.
forums had it maxed, but it still
That's
wasn't
good.
applying busted status. And then I saw a video of
That's
somebody
good.
did it in an Iron Strike.
I will say this. I don't doubt that it's screwed up and bugged and that it's still allowing the defenders. I would not put it past. I mean, this is kind of something that's
But
in the-
it
in
looks
the
good.
history of-
It looked good
Oh,
in that
thanks.
video, so it's good.
Well, that one, yeah. But I'm saying the other gentleman might be, or gentlelady, might be, or genteel, might be suffering from a situation where it still does it.
Nowadays, you have to say
and the
gentle
other-
human.
Genteel.
Venom
So,
is
and the
saying
other-
we're still gathering more information on that.
So,
that and in history, there's other things where in event bases it won't spawn. Like in event bases, you'll still get the LSDs, regardless. Even though you've put this
LSD
on.
last stand defenders for people
Yes.
that aren't familiar with Unshackled.
I ain't tripping. But on the other side, if you were to take it in a PvP attack, the same unit, like you do a base and it still spawns them. You take it into a PvP against somebody and it won't. There's times where Kixeye kind of it works and it doesn't work. It's just a matter of them waiting till the event ends and then it hones itself out. There's been periods where I've seen things like that, not that specific issue, but similar issues where I'm like, ah ha 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 ha. Regardless, it's still kind of.
Hey guys, just in case anybody's curious, 19 hours and 30 minutes repair.
I think you could have done that with 18 hours and 35 minutes if you really tried.
Yeah.
So, Debo, are you on?
I am.
I would like to know your opinion about the event, what your thoughts are, and how it goes.
Now that those Black Widow 30s are gone. Yeah, that was my event for most of the day yesterday. No, it's actually not a bad event. There's a couple bases. The 75 is a little tricky. The 80 is a little tricky. But then again, when I play events, my event starts a week prior, and I gather hundreds and hundreds of millions of Thor, and I scrap whatever units get destroyed, and I build new ones. So, I mean, that really hasn't changed. I would say that that's been my go-to for the last 5 or 6 events, or maybe even longer than that now if I think about it. But it's definitely doable. It's not the greatest in the world. If I'm going 1 through 10, I'm gonna go 7.5. I really love those Black Widow 30s though. If we can get those back out on the map, that'd be awesome.
Oh yeah, I mean the 10K medal payout, that was great to have it in between there.
This was a nice free war dog and a hammer from the lows to mids.
Yeah, I kind of missed all of those.
So I
Well,
got a,
Venom, you know the pain of the community, I'm sure.
I got a question for everybody.
Yes.
So a lot of us have voiced good things and bad things about the event. What things, I want to ask everybody to the panel,
Wait, I
what
think
things
you wanna
about this
ask-
event
I
could
think
huh?
I think you want to ask somehow the same question I wanted to ask.
Well, how about this? Write it in the side chat, Daba, and see if, and all you have to do is say yes or no, whether that's
No,
What
no,
you
let
wanted to ask.
Doba go. Let Doba go. Let him go.
all right. Oh,
Right,
it's
so-
already there.
As a moderator, I'm doing my moderator duties now and gathering information about the event from the community. So, what things could Kixeye do to make this event better? Obviously, we got making the trophy not unlockable, or like the trophy issue.
Either do two
But-
or.
What other things would you like to
Mhm.
see? Maybe I'll rewatch a show and document it and see what we can gather.
No, that's basically the same question I wanted to ask your people. What are your thoughts for the improvements, maybe for the next event? What do you want to see to be approved, or maybe ideas? That's what I wanted to ask. Kind of the same what Doba is asking now.
I would think that one of the big things for the mid to low levels would definitely be the restart tokens. This was the first event that we decided that we're going to go with half the amount of restart tokens up front. Getting to 65 on the main track and getting through the 3 faction track for most probably wasn't that difficult, but I mean, for the little guy out there, man, they need those 4 restarts right off the bat. Because that might be their entire event. So, I mean, Kickstarter could have probably did a little bit better job on that. Because, I mean, I could see some of these people's events ending either, yesterday or today because of the fact that they can't go any further. I love the fact that they're continuing to do the defensive waves, or if you choose to or not. I think that's a great idea because that's another stopping point for a lot of players. Overall, though, the difficulty, I understand a lot of people are upset with the 80, but you gotta understand you're not getting anything for free in this game, man. You gotta be able to put in work. You gotta be able to take the damage. I understand that for some, damage is pretty high, but I mean that's the whole name of the game. Nothing's for free, so you can take your damage and take it on your chin and heal your stuff up, or take a page out of my book, man. I'm a level 47 who spends a lot of time collecting Thor and holding Thor in my war factory specifically for when I fuck up and I kill my shit, I just scrap it. I build new ones. So, but I mean overall, I mean the big thing I would say would be the tokens, man. Don't screw the little guy out of his XP just because of the fact that he can't get that far.
You just started collecting Thorium coins 1 week before the event. Saves you coins to repair.
Just to kind of I've felt that pain before as a low level, and the point we're talking about is you get to a base, the 50, 65, whatever base you hit, and it's like you spend 20, 30 hours of repair and you still can't get the base, or you barely get past the base. So, that's like 1 or 2 days. And if you, and the thing too is like, you can get to that base, but it's like you take 4 or 5 days to even get 1 restart token. So it's like, you're pretty much, you're not out that first day, but you're out that first day if you can't get past that base that is the restart point. So it's not, we're not saying, hey, I tried the base and I took damage. I've actually done that. I've hit a base where it's like I take over 30, 40 hours of damage and I still can't get past the base. I threw everything I had in the kitchen sink and I still couldn't get past it. So the only choice at that point is just to restart, that's originally what the intention of the restart tokens were for.
Well, the thing what I like the most, what they did, is the reduction of the mission number. I mean,
yes, that was a big positive.
Yeah, that's definitely.
What did we had before? 26 for the main.
You had 26 for the main, 6 for the faction, and then 6 for the zombies.
Oh yeah, but the zombie was a one time, but damn, it just was too much.
Wow, yeah, zombie is a one-time thing, but it was like every time you did a restart, you had to do like 40 plus missions. It was brutal.
There's 43 missions I calculated last night compared to 20 now. So it's way better now.
I really hope they keep up with this to keep this number of and not back to the high numbers again.
The counter to that, it doesn't matter if there's 5 missions. If you can only do 3 missions and 4 and 5 take 60 hours of damage, then it's not the count of the mission. It's also I mean, I appreciate the reduction in the grind, as part of that reducing the grind, but you're still not making it so, those bases are, it's like, it's like we're talking about, you'd reduced it down to 20 bases, but people are still getting stuck, before the restart. So it's like kind of a bizarre, it's like you're still stacking your bases too hard at the end.
The thing I would change is the amount of cave bases.
Correct. I totally agree, Chump.
I was going to mention that we talked about that so much, especially cave with a faction. That's definitely a big thing that people are looking for.
Yeah,
the
I think
faction.
I think what they should maybe take a look at is making maybe different kinds of events for the lower. Uh, it's what Doba mentioned is the ABC what we used to have.
Yeah. Well, part of that is
that
just. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
now that was a great because the everybody could choose their own event, and and the lower and the mid levels they were able to do their own event.
At the time, going back to that, at the time I was more of a mid-level player, and it was actually a sign of pride when you started out in the mid, in your B tier level, and then you would complete that, and then you try the level A, the top tier heavy gunners fucking thing, and you'd make a dent in it. You'd be like, wow, I didn't believe I'd get too far in it, but you succeeded. And then while you were repairing units, you could drop down and do the level C low grade easy stuff for the level
Yep.
10 player, level 15 player, and you could do that with your lower level units. You could bring out your SF and walk through those with SF units while your tanks and shit were your heavy hitters were repairing. And then once they were repaired, day 2, you'd go back and you'd do your mid tier, and it would stack you up on XP to collect the vital things that you were going to need. But they only did that for such a short period of time, and they walked away. And again, Dob is correct. It was more of a little bit of a grind, but it wasn't a grind if you took it for what its values were, which was it was a grind if all you did was like this. You just stuck to one level tier. You just kept going through B and going through B and going through B. But if you jumped around and played around going through all 3 tiers, taking damage in A, jumping back down to C while your damage was getting repaired, to at least you continuously were gaining event XP. And that was, at that time, the most beneficial event structure.
And I think it was the most fair too because
Well, they did
a lot of
at the
a lot of
time,
people like they just with the like events since then and all that. Ever since then, everyone's been saying about the medium and lower level player, and I remember I used to sit there and do C 300 times, and then I would graduate to B, and then and then eventually when I became a tier A player, I was like, yeah, like you said, it was a sense of pride, and when I
Yep. But the thing is this, the other aspect of that is that the memory of a gamer is very short-lived. And people don't even remember that for the most part. They can't recall how they went through it. You know what I mean? So most players now, all they think about is the last 2 structures. You see, they don't understand going way back to the very original events. They don't remember going back to having the only attacks connected to your base. They don't have, the bubble bases after the community complained about having their attack bases stolen from them. Then getting the protective hex so that their unit wouldn't die because they would go out to attack the base that was connected to their base, and then somebody would snipe their tune. Like, they don't remember all that old stuff and how this has progressed to be more equal for the player to achieve something, to protect the player's ability to at least play the event, which is admirable from Kickside. But the other thing I was thinking as far as this event goes, and talking again about restart tokens, and the reason why I brought up those old bubbled attached bases and the protective hexes and things like that. If it was plausible, I'm not saying it's possible, but if it was plausible to have level locked bases that, when completed, reward a reset token. Not that they're in the event the entire time, but if the event is 5 days, say they spawn 2 out of the 5 days randomly. And they're level locked, so only players within those levels can attack them. But as a bonus to players who cannot quite achieve the reset token in the waves, what if this level locked base for a level 27 player was to drop today for 6 hours or 8 hours or 12 hours or 24 hours, they can attack it, and if they achieve it, they get a restart token. So they may not be able to do it, they'll lose their 2, but they've gained 1. And then tomorrow it doesn't drop, but then the following day it drops again. So maybe they can't really play tomorrow because they don't have any restart tokens, but the day after, on Sunday, they can hit this base and get their reset token.
Somebody play music?
Yeah, it's me there. I don't know how the hell to stop it.
It's okay.
Don't
I like the music.
But,
the only trouble I see with that Venom, randomly appearing restart. I think the restart token base is pretty awesome, but imagine like you need a restart token, so you're waiting on the game for days for them to drop.
You got to wait. I'm saying it would not be something that's guaranteed. Again, if it's only on the map of the 5 days, say for the level, I'm going to say 0. Let's say the level 0 to level 30 player, those bases are locked. Level 30 to level 50 or level 45 or whatever have a separate base, different style, different design, a little bit harder. Well, obviously harder, and they spawn on a different day. So it's not guaranteed. You have to be there to make it's Black Friday style. You got to be there early. You got to collect them, but those players can go out and they're bubbled. So a player like me, as a 40-something player, can't help a level 27 get his. He's got to earn it on his own.
But the restart tokens, the lower and the mid levels, they need the restart tokens. So they need good reachable for them. For the high players, it doesn't matter. I don't care if it's if I get a restart token at the last main track or the last faction track. For me, it doesn't matter. I will get my way to there. But for the lower and the mid, it needs to be reachable for them.
Yeah,
we should ask one of I'm not sure who would be a good person to ask, but ask how many restart tokens the top level players have at the end of their event. It's like 10 or 15 or 20 restart tokens.
I'll tell you, I'll be blatantly honest. I've played.
In theory, you'd only be able to get 3.
I've played events.
Oh yeah, I guess
the last day, I'm basically just hitting them just to use them up. I've literally come to the last day of the event, haven't used a single reset token. I've gone through event over and over and over, and have hit restart, done the first the defense wave, and then hit restart token again, and done the first defense wave. Just not to have the tokens.
I understood the mistake of my problem was that you don't actually. It's like or like our discussion on gambling. You're not actually getting any. You still have to use a restart token every playthrough, even if you can do the entire thing. So so if you have, I guess Venom said it the best. He goes through the entire event without even using a single. And that's the same that Dutch is playing. It's like saying, he doesn't matter because he doesn't actually use the restart tokens. He just uses the ones he gets. The one he gets to play through.
The thing is, you cannot put the old veteran players that are high level with the new players that don't have anything. You cannot put them on the same scale. You cannot make up an event on one line for all of them, because for one, if it's gonna be too boring. For the other one, it's going to be too difficult. So you got to have the multiple paths. So a lower level can manage to do the event on its own. And he can finish it on its own. Because that would be a big morale boost for that player. Hey, I don't need anybody. I can do it on my own.
I remember telling players, they would be like, want a specific thing. I say, grind tier C. It's going to take you a day or 2. But you could get 2 million XP. I think it was just grinding tier C, which you get some decent stuff. Mm-hmm. And then next event, if you get 2 million XP again, you can get some more stuff. And like us dinosaurs had to do, we would get like one event, my whole event, I just got Warhawks, and that was it.
Dobbin never did the tier system if he thinks he can grind. You couldn't grind tier A or you couldn't grind B and C to get 2 million XP. That was impossible.
C gave you like 5. Does it give you 5,000 times 300 repeats? Is it 1.5 then?
Yeah, but I mean that So it's like, yeah, sure, you want to.
Okay, sorry, 1.5, not 2 million, but still 1.5 was still good.
Yeah, but 300 repeats.
very
but yeah,
painful,
that was
very
kind of my
tedious.
thing. Was like I was in that boat that that I was able to easily do C, but I couldn't grind out 300 because I'm not insane, but I couldn't get past B. So
And double is.
that's oh shit, Job is
I love that.
Job is dedicated.
When I became a tier A player, I would do 2 or 3 repeats per day.
Yeah,
That's all dedicated. I like the word dedicated instead of psycho. It makes me sound better. That's how dedicated I am.
But see, I was going to use a different term, but I guess the better term was every time you segment something out, if it's A, B, or C, you're always going to find like, hey, I can do C, I struggle with B, but I can't do A. And then if you segment it out to 4, I struggle with D. I can easily do D and C. Struggle with B. It's like it doesn't. The stretching it out doesn't change.
But again,
anything.
that actually has benefits because it allows you to have something to attain for. It's a psychological fact. If you put like a carrot on the stick, so if it's a carrot on the stick complex, and if you put out separate tiers, the player is going to actually want to try to do the higher levels. No matter what level you're at, you're going to want to try to do the high levels. And nobody, because it's the definition of insanity, continuing to do the same thing and trying to get a different result. Nobody really is going to want to do, what did you say, committed, Daba? The committed act?
Dedicated.
The dedicated act of doing level C if they're, for example, Dutch's level or Daba's level 300 times. They're going to want to do level C maybe a couple dozen times while they're repairing so they can go back and fight and dick measuring contest their bravado to do level A. The level C is there for a player that just started last month and this is their first event. The level C is there for the player who is a level B tier who needs time to repair something and doesn't have his good units right now, but he also doesn't have a whole lot of time to sit and play the event. He doesn't have 5 days, but God forbid he can be given a level C tier that's a cakewalk for him because he's a 38 player, and he can at least earn another 1 million, or not 1 million, but say 400, 500,000 K XP for doing that tier through while he's repairing, and then tomorrow he can put in another 3 or 4 hours doing his level B. It's keeping the player invested in the event. It's keeping the player's mind, entertained. When you do this and you lock players, like you said, that you get in, you get so far, you use your reset token, you get so far, you've used up your last reset token, now you're out of the event, and you're out of the event on day 2.
Yeah,
that's
definitely a very bad thing. If you can't play the game, I mean, maybe that's a clear way to say it. If people can't play the game, then they can't. They're not repairing. They're they're repairing what they why they can't play, but they're not. And it's like then it gets not to get down to it, but then ultimately, if they're not playing, they're not spending basically.
That's right. Well, see, and again, that was the issue with the. That goes back to Kicksai's motto is if you keep us hurting, we'll coin for certain. And that isn't true. Like me, I don't coin, period, anymore. No, not going to happen. Don't care what their sale is. Don't care if they give me 7,000 gold for $2.50. You ain't getting it out of me anymore. You just not.
But that's definitely like on with tier C, you can actually complete it. That's achieving something. Like right now, I probably could complete the event, but that's it's like that's sort of I can complete it once or twice, and
exactly.
That's it. So
again, that talks to me. Like me personally, I didn't get a whole lot of time to spend yesterday. I was working. I didn't get a whole time. Like I missed the start of the event. That's why.
That's always a separate story for me. Not having enough time to.
Well, yeah, and again, if you play and you're under repairs, now the hour or two that you could be doing the event, you're waiting on repairs. So you're technically losing that hour and a half, 2 hours of gameplay. So by the time you've repaired your units, you're out shopping for Christmas. You're busy with the kids or the wife or whatever, or you've got church, for Daba tomorrow, and you're not playing the game. Then you come back from all this, and you are repaired, and you can only put in so much, or you can't even play anyway because you've already used up your 2 reset tokens. So
That was the problem.
The aspect of blending real life understanding of real life, that concept back into the development of the game and the system of these events.
That was the problem with the original events. The original events, you only point, and then your event was done. So yeah, it was 1 to infinity, but as you progressed, there was a point where you just could not do it anymore, and then you just had to stop. With the tier system, you always have something to do.
That should have been the onslaught / invasions. I would have liked to have seen them run onslaught and invasion, where it's just a much more gradual tier. The whole thing of these onslaughts being 10 waves and the
invasions
arc,
10 waves.
the invasions, the arc of them being, easy as cake, okay, sort of hard, pretty damn hard. What the fuck are you doing, Kixeye? Like, there's no in between. I would have liked them to run those old-fashioned events style for those, where it's 1 freaking thing attacks you on wave 1, 5 things attack you on wave 3, 12 things attack, and by the time you're up in those, remember when we used to get to 30 waves of defense? Like, yeah, I got 30, 35th wave, 36th wave, and then, oh crap, my base was wiped the fuck out.
But I can imagine with that old school event, it's gonna be a real boring first half of the event.
Well, you can just bow out. Just bow out and don't collect the greater tier prizes. If you set a huge goal at the end of, say, 40 or 50 waves is the max instead of 10, okay? And the 50th wave completion is a trophy. There are people that are going to do it. Now, maybe people won't make it to 50, or maybe that 50th wave is as hard as what we see in the current rendition of the level 10. But at least, and again, it's not something that has to be done in a 6-hour period of time. It does span 2-3 days. So you have the ability to do it over time. You can do 10 waves today, 10 waves tomorrow, and 10 waves on the last day, and you don't have to do all 10 of them in one sitting. So that kind of stuff. That's just me,
Ultimately, you're talking about engagement, and even like a lot of us have, a lot of people in the War Commander right now check out of, they don't even finish onslaught or even do invasion.
You get bored.
It's like their engagement is very low. And partly it's engagement for the reward. Like for me, it's like for invasion, I can only get to wave 8. I'm not getting anything out of it, so it's like my engagement is now nil.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. I don't complete them, and when they do the time thing, I don't get. I'm up in the top tier on day 1 and 2, and then I've dropped down into the 800s. I don't care. I do it once.
I should point out last invasion I hit 634, so I'm actually not, but I have had that problem before where it's like if you don't complete it, you don't get anything. That's a big problem for me.
This last one, I sat down, I started it, and I got up until I think the 6th or 5th wave, and I was in like 5 minutes or something. So I was on pace to be within like a 10 or 12 minute thing. I finished with like 22 minutes. It's like,
Question regarding PvE stuff, since you guys were talking about like invasion and stuff like that. Is there anything that you guys do that you do just for the fun of it and not because there's a reward, not a carrot at the end of the stick?
No. I'll be blatantly honest. No. There's nothing in this game that is done without a reward. Everything has to be done for the end result. You have to hit your thorium bases to have the thorium to do your upgrades, your builds, and your repairs. You have to do the metal and stuff bases for that. You have to do the onslaught for the tech. You have to do the shadow ops to get the new unit. I mean, think about it. If we didn't do shadow ops, we wouldn't have the blackout. we didn't do shadow ops, we wouldn't have you know, any of this shit. There is nothing in this game anymore that is not forcing players.
Yeah.
There is nothing fun, and there never will be anything fun. Don't kid yourself. There will never be anything fun. And I'm sorry if our friend, you know, WT is out there, but it's not against him. It's not a slight against him. It's just
Hey, I'm
there's
having all types of fun over here.
Yeah, that's you. There's nothing fun in this game anymore because everything has to be done. It is forced on us to do it to stay relevant.
You know what we all
the main thing what's going on here is there is so much content in this game.
Exactly.
That's why people are having trouble in doing things for fun, because it's getting a grind, it's getting a second job.
It's a requirement to stay relevant. That's what's hurting. It's the requirement to stay relevant.
I think there's two things to answer Daba's question. The first thing's kind of a joke. Me and Daba love testing, so we test things for the fun of it to try to learn how to do it and to try to get better at the game. So that's like getting better at the game, trying to learn how to do it, trying to help people out. So that's one thing we do. There's no real direct benefit for doing that. The second thing is, and there are a lot of PvPers out there that have over 3,100, they have the gold 1 infamy. So all they have to do is to continue that trend is to get 5 bases a week. But there are a lot of people out there that do more bases than they need to continue. So that's the second thing. And I don't want to call anybody out, but I know there are.
No, absolutely. But again, what Daba was referring to is PvE, and what you're talking about is the PvP.
Yeah.
The PvP of fighting other players. That is the last bastion of hope for this game. And it is something that Kixeye is purposely turning us towards. Like, I'll say this. The PvP event was fun. I loved it. That was fun. But as far as PvE is considered, you have ruined this game. And PvE should be equally as enjoyable. The problem is you make it painful to stay relevant. You make it painful to collect the things, and you make it ridiculously ass backwards in the amount of effort required to upgrade or repair units. As a unit gets stronger, its repair time should be reduced. As a unit is released, it should be easier to equip tech to it. It shouldn't be longer. The older units should be even easier because they're completely irrelevant to a higher level player, that is. Now, to a new player that's starting out, yeah, they should have to work for it to get up there. I mean, to them, their new stuff, our old stuff, is our new stuff to us. So, but the fact of the matter is, you make it a chore and a second job to maintain your status to be able to do events like this, let alone go out and attack other players. Because if you don't do the PvE, you cannot play in PvP. Because if you don't do the PvE, you won't have the Blackout. You won't have the Legion. You wouldn't have the Titan, or the Omega Titan, the Omega Sandstorm, the Juggernaut. And that's what we use in the PvP aspect of the game. They cannot. Kixeye needs to break down and fucking admit, you cannot have one without the other. They're two sides of the same coin. That's the way this game is. It just is. You have to have the PvE, regardless of what they think it's not valuable for their profit margin, if you're going to continue to have PvP be profitable for them. If you want us to have fun in PvP, make it easier in the PvE. That's not supposed to be hard. PvE is supposed to be easy.
You're saying if your earnings are from PvP and that's where they're getting their money from, just as from a beer business point of view, then you're saying that they need to make PvE easy, enjoyable, and doable, so you can get the there needs to be some sort of challenge there. So I'm
not saying every base has to be a level 5. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm getting at is that if you make it, look at the again, and this I'll put these 3 things together because this is the way that it hurts them. They make it a necessity to do these events and mini events. They stack everything on top of one another. So you come out of an event into a mini event, into another side event, onto an onslaught, onto a shadow ops, back into an event. You don't have time to repair. In the interim of doing all these PvE things, you want us to go and battle each other and go into wars. It's absolutely fucking insane that they believe that this is a viable business strategy. If my shit's repairing and I'm not a coiner, I can't fight. If my shit's repairing and I'm not a coiner, I can't onslaught. I can't shadow ops. I can't. What's the name of this fucking event? Thorium rush. That's you know what I'm saying. Like, make one side of this has to be equivalent to the other. If you want me to gain the tools to go blow shit up and blow my shit up so that I'll be incentivized to coin my repairs, you can't make it so that when I was gaining the tools, I've suffered such losses that I can't use the tool anyway. And I mean, finally, I will admit, and I'll go back to what Dutch said, they did hone back and give us a little bit more time in between where we finally are starting to be able to get units and have time to upgrade them before they're thrown into combat as far as the PvE side of it's concerned.
But I asked a question there, Venom there. When's the last time we done a live Rab show on Unshackled?
Disclosure, there was talk about trying to do that again. But it's not.
No appetite for it. It's too expensive. You can't do it.
The last time, I think the next to last time was one of the few that I was privileged enough to be able to tag along with y'all. And that was, I had 100 gold that I spent that night. It's $10. It's nothing big. But I'm a bigger player, and I did not attack a lot of people. And when I went in and played with you, the bases that I hit were not hard bases. It wasn't a real challenge. Now, I want to hit challenging bases. I want to hit within my weight class. But I can't because I'm not going to spend, $100 just to go out and play for 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, you would. For a 2-hour show, you would need 500 gold.
Yeah.
Without any problem. That's what you need there. Before you come in, it's going to be 100 gold a hit, and you're going to get 5 hits.
I mean, it's
like,
live.
The game
it's
needs
live.
to provide a stipend so we can actually go out and PvP.
It's either you do this
live.
or you do that. You want to do PvP, then you have to wait before you do PvE to repair, or you have to coin.
Or you have to coin. But if you do your PvP wars and you try to wait the PvE, you're going to end up putting yourself in a period. I mean, for example, and I'll use this the onslaught to collect this new unit. Shadow Ops. The Shadow Ops to collect this new unit. If I was to ignore 1 or 2 of the Shadow Ops, now I'm forcing myself to have to go through the grind of doing those bases all in one day. And again, that puts you in a position to be forced to coin your repairs to get it done because you only have the 8 out of 10 or whatever, 7 out of 10. It's you can tell how interesting. I've always been a promoter. I love this game. I love the community. It hurts me to see how quickly I'm slipping in the amount of care that I have to even keep up with what's going on. And I've lost track of all the tasks that need to be completed on a daily, weekly, monthly basis.
Yeah, a few people post the full list on the forums, and it's like your mouth drops. But I think Venom. I think one of the things too is the people in the community, a lot of the panels, we all are kind of experiencing that as well. So it's like to varying degrees, and so we understand and we feel for you because that's where we're at.
Dude, I'm not a charity case. I don't mind. I just it's not about me. I don't. That's I love I still play it. I'm not going to stop playing.
Well,
because I never quit anything in my life. But it's just I don't want it. My point is it's not me at a level 45 or 46. It's the person at level 30 trying to become 45, and that's nearly, if not truly, unattainable at this point. And forget a person starting the game at level 5 or 10. No.
I was thinking
Well,
about taking that on as a.
it's I think it's too overwhelming for the new players.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
actually thinking of taking that on as a personal project, starting
Start an
a fresh
You,
account.
you want you want to
With
gain
little help.
new players. You want to
see what-
attract new players, but you not want to chase them away.
But
And,
the problem is they've chased the veterans away. They've allowed the honest players to be pushed out by the problems that have occurred in the game, both kick size coding errors and the at the one time, but thank God it's being handled, the rampant exploitation through other means. But at least that's being taken care of, and I understand that's an everlasting, ongoing thing that's always going to occur.
I wonder if that's
the veterans have left. The honest players are hurting, and the new players don't have any reason to try, because no true caring veteran is going to sit there and tell somebody tomorrow, yeah, you got to start this game, you got to try playing it, and it's going to be awesome, because it's not. I'm 6 years into this. If I wasn't, there's no fucking way I would have played this more than a night.
all right. Okay. I think maybe it's time for
I don't
us.
want to leave this on a down. I don't want to leave this on a down note.
No, but you know, at the end, actually, it War Commander, it does keep me off the street, keeps me occupied. So I give them props for that.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
So
The family, the friends.
we can only express how what's going on, how we feel, and what the game is. If it's positive or negative, it's kind of that's the outlook of what we are seeing.
yeah.
But it's still, it can turn around. I mean, it still can hold its own. It's just when they get back after the break and they hunker down, they just need to really take a deep breath and think about possibly restructuring things. Little things like we mentioned earlier in the show. Get those reset tokens back to the low-level players. Even if there was some script that they could run where only low-level players got 4 tokens and high-level players got 2 tokens. I don't mind that. 40 and up, you get 2 resets. 39 and below, you get 4. Okay. Or do something, like a token achievement base or something like that. I don't care. But help them out.
And if you guys if the community collectively would get together and be constructive, provide constructive feedback and the forums and stuff, instead of just this sucks, actually provide what you don't like about it, how you could make it better. I think Kixeye would listen to that more so than, oh, this event sucks, or this sucks, that sucks.
Well, yeah, that's absolutely true. Think about it this way. As a business owner.
Can we as a community ask you a question, Daba?
Sure, go for it.
You I'm not trying to turn it's the why is the question framed like it is? That why is it so important to not link prizes to events or rewards for events? I mean, you don't even have to ask officially, but it's like, what's the that seems such a bizarre thing to try to take out rewards and a like a prize loop event thing.
So we're still gonna insider information. There's no insider information with that question or any of that, but I was just curious who actually logs in just for the fun of it and not for the carrot. But I think we went over that in detail.
Like I said, the fun of the game. I mean, I'll just say real quick: the fun of the game.
The fun is the reward.
Well, no, the fun of the game. The fun of the game is the community. The fun of the game is having battles with enemies, having battles with friends, making friends out of your enemies, and making enemies out of your friends. There's nothing more fun than watching somebody that you've played for 3 years side by side with get all butthurt and turn on you, and you get to smash the shit out of their face on a regular basis. And then eventually you make up and you become friends again. And you go, or even if you're bitter enemies, you turn around and the enemy of mine enemy is my friend. You turn around and you together work to take out somebody who's a bigger douche. That's the fun of the game, is the community. as far as Kixeye is not the fun of the game. Kixeye is a faceless entity that creates a game that we get together and play, and we're the ones that make it fun. They just are unfortunately unaware of that, and they're trying to commit themselves to being more, and this is not a slight against the development team, but they're committing themselves to being more than what they are. They are artists, they are designers, for lack of a better term, and I hate saying architects. To me, if you want to be an architect, you have to build something physical. I want to hold it in my hand. But mentally and
just print your Mega Juggernaut on a piece of paper, then you can hold it, and then there you go.
Well, no, hey, that's another thing. Kixeye had one of the greatest things of all time, and I'm pretty sure anybody who's watching this video later, or those out on YouTube now, probably never even saw it. Kixeye had a physical 3D printed rendering of Ruby that they issued out as a reward for an event. Mm-hmm. It was swag that literally was mailed to players who achieved it. That is something that Kixeye have unfortunately lost. That was commitment. That was that great thing that Dr. Phil put up. You know, the passion of the game over the principle of profit. That was them being us. They've stepped away from that, and they've become the Bernie Madoffs, the wicked, evil, profit-driven pricks that all Silicon Valley and Wall Street become. They've stepped away from caring about us. They care about the game, guaranteed.
Hey, now.
The game is their bread and butter.
Hey, now. Hey, now.
Hey, I'm seriously. Yeah.
Hey, dude. Hey.
But seriously, they are. They've stopped caring about the player, and they care about the game. They want it to run. They want it to run smoothly. They don't want these bugs and issues. They want the bugs and issues that they put in to hurt us. They want those glitches that make us take 20 minutes of repair when we should take 2. But believe me, you know, that heart, I don't know, that heart just does run cold in my opinion. And I really think they need to reevaluate and come back to that.
All right. I think maybe it's time for us to wrap up. So I want to move on to the shoutouts. If you all agree with that. I hear no complaints, so okay. Anton, do you got any shoutouts?
Yeah, shout out to everybody on the panel. Again, thanks for the invite. Everybody on YouTube there, some good questions there, shout out to 173 and tune in again for another exciting episode.
Okay. And next shout out, Dubba.
Shout out. I want to give a huge shout out to Kixeye for this event. It was pretty good. It's actually, I really love it, and it's making me use different units and stuff that I wouldn't normally. I'm using ground a lot more than air. Just for the shortness of the waves and the defense waves, they're actually fair now. They're not just super crazy. And the XP payout, because you're giving way more XP per wave. And shout out to I had somebody. Shout out to Doc for coming out earlier this morning, or whatever time it is for him, afternoon. Oh, okay. I saw something about mods in YouTube, so I just wanted to check that. Okay. Shout out to posting in the forums and being very active and keeping me on my toes. But you guys just be constructive with your posts. Yeah, we get that the event, you guys don't like it, but say what you could, be constructive about it and what Kixeye could fix, like the trophy thing. This is the first. So Kixeye does make mistakes, so that with they get better. So be constructive with it instead of just, oh, this sucks, I'm not coining anymore. I hate this game, I'm quitting. And let them know. Kickside does listen to player feedback in the forums, as long generally the constructive stuff. Finally, shout out to Sector. Nobody in YouTube wanted my shout out. Shout out to Sector. What are we in? 173, because you guys are doing good. Oh, one thing nobody brought up on the show: the sector bar on the for the Warwick bases was crazy. It was crazy good. Like the first 2 hours of the event, it popped. So that was another plus for kicks.
No, it's not a plus for kicks. It's a plus for the sector.
The participants.
Yeah, I mean, because the past events, the bar would take forever. I've never seen it. I've never actually seen it go up that quick. Because I would imagine Kickside would have some go at how
hopefully
quick that bar goes up, but I could be speculating.
No, hopefully they change the algorithm to make it count a little bit more.
Rumor is the
Shout
third.
out, shout out for the Debo.
Yeah, shout out to the panel, shout out to everybody on YouTube. All the assholes out there on 173. And just real quick, I mean, this game is going to be what you make of it. So, I mean, Kickside did, in my opinion, did a really decent job on the event, minus a few things. And, you know, if they keep up with the good and get rid of the bad, we're all going to be happy. So, just keep trucking along and get it all done.
All right. Thank you. Shout outs, Champ.
Shout out to you guys on the panel. Thanks for having me. Shout out to YouTube. Shout out to Kickstarter for giving us those Black Widow 30 bases. Really helped a lot on medals. Appreciate that.
Did.
Yeah, shout out to Sector 173. Good sector. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Makaya, shout outs.
I just sorry, I was thinking about something and I'm confused, but hey, it's still relevant because I just want to give a shout out to City again, and to, you know, he puts out awesome videos. I know there's a few people that kind of do it as well, but I know we were talking about Cities. I'm personally not involved in that, but to me it's like I've lost grandparents before, so it's like I'm not I feel the pain. And big shout out to Phil. A lot of people are like appreciate Phil's you know, it resonates with the community as Venom as well. You know, that people are resonating with that, and you know, we're not trying to be all negative, but we're just trying to share their thoughts and feelings on it. I think it's kind of like the fine balance between there are a lot of really cool positive things that are coming out, you know, like Warpath and little, you know, awesome changes that are happening, but I think they're eclipsed by things that are, you know, repair times and cost of things too much. And big shout out to you know, the you know, more iterators, because those guys play the game, really care about it, really passionate about it. I know Daba and Slip are really key in our, you know, our community, but I know a lot of people do, so I appreciate their efforts. And, you know, we're not trying to blindside them or trying to get them with questions, but we just appreciate all the hard work and what they're doing and trying to gather the feedback and get it in the format that they can appreciate. Anyways, thanks all.
All right. Venom, shout outs.
Yeah, I want to say, like, I shout out to all the people on our panels and to all the viewers and the participants in the War Commander Facebook page for Unshackled, and shout out to all the developers and the code writers and the script writers and the art department and the craft service people and the guy who prints out copies in the office at Kickside. It's not them. They're awesome. They work their days, and they do what they got to do to try to put out the best possible experience on their end. But fuck you to the bean counters and the ones that hold them back. That's where my anger lies. It's not with Wrong Thinker or Chris or any of them. It's not, or you know, it's not against any of those. It's not even against Cyberdouche as a moderator. Moderators are players. They have passions and lives and everything. It's the top of the top that don't feel what we, the community, feel. So shout out to all the community that we all stick together and enjoy this game, enjoy our time together, and keep holding on for the better days, because there's good and bad in every day. So tomorrow will be a good day. Enjoy, kick ass on the event. Hope everybody gets what they want out of the prize lists. And that's it.
Just remember, the sun will come out tomorrow.
Thank you.
Tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Well, I want to say also my condolences to City with the loss of his grandpa. I wish him and everybody a lot of strength, and we are all there for you, the whole community. So if you need anything, just give a holler. And my shout out goes to the panel. Thanks for all being there in the show, and of course YouTube. Thanks for all being there. The next show will be on Wednesday, as usual, for the update notes if they're ready. And well, see you all next time. Bye bye.
Deuce.